G'day, how you doing? Ianapolis here, acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my video. This is something different. I'm going to teach you beginners how to create your own color reference chart. So let's just say you've got a color wheel, you're familiar with your color wheel, and you're looking at a picture, a reference picture, and there's so many colors going on there. There are some colored reference charts you can get off the internet, but you don't have every color that creates the color grids in those charts. So what I want to teach you today is something so simple, you can do it with your own gear. Grab your paints, grab a couple of sheets of cardboard, okay, something to mix on. We're going to create our own reference charts. Now here's a picture I pulled off the internet. This is our famous Cottesloe Beach. Look at all the colors going on there, the sand colors. We've got wet sand, dry sand, we've got shadowed sand, we've got toned sand. Even the bricks, the greens, the blue. There's all sorts of colors going on in this picture. Here is another one of a lighthouse. There's a lot of different blues going on in there. You got some more greens, you got light hitting the greens, and you got some different white colors. And lastly, we've got, let's say, an old shed farm bush scene where you got some different browns and grays and other shadow values of your landscape. Now, all these paintings and more that you might look at have several different colors going on with them, and you're probably scratching your head going, well, I want to paint that. But when you paint it, it looks totally different or whatever. Now, one thing I want to put out with this video as well is every artist, you, all of us, we're all unique, we're all different. You got your own colors of paints. Like here's all mine, for instance. This is all my paint library, let's say. I've got paints all over here. This is what I've pulled out today to show you. I'm going to show you that in more depth. And I've got paints down here as well. So they're pretty much all what I've got to play with. And the same with you at home. It's all you've got to play with is what you have in your art area, okay? Same with your brushes. So let's have a look at the table here. I've pulled out the main colors in the color wheels, let's say the warms and the cool colors, okay? I've got my reds, yellows, and the blues. Now grab out the earthy colors, your warm colors, which are the reds and the yellows and the oranges and some of the browns, I suppose, and the cool colors, which is the white, the grays, and the blues, in my opinion. We've got some greens there as well. And we're gonna play with those colors. And also, we always have a coffee on the go as well. Now I've got black, I've got white, I've got a gray. So grab a bit of cardboard. Now this is gonna be your reference chart. So you will keep this once you've done, and you can lay it against a reference picture and work out what colors you're gonna use. So I'm gonna start off with just a simple black, grey and white. Now white's going to tint a colour, grey is going to tone a colour, and black is going to shadow a colour. Now let's work out some blues. Alright, so I've got some cobalt blue. Okay, cobalt blue, French ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, they all give different colours. Okay, so I've got cobalt, French ultramarine. So these are the blues I've got. You work with the blues that you've got and see what colours are going to happen for you. So we're going to start with the blues. The blues are one of the primary colours. Now it's important you get yourself a pen as well, because you want to reference what colours you've used. So let's start off with some cobalt blue. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put that there, just like that, cobalt blue. And I'll put a reference for there. So let's say CB. I can understand that. That's cobalt blue. Now, we're going to try that with some of our, and I'm going to put that next to it, cadmium yellow light. So I know that's my cadmium yellow light, okay? Cadmium yellow light. You can all do that. This is a fun exercise. These are the things and the science behind our art. Now what you want to do is grab some of your cobalt blue and mix some of that with that yellow, okay? And just see what you're getting. Now we've got that value of green. We'll keep mixing a little bit more. It's a bit dark. So if it's making a colour, your inner self will say that colour's a little bit dark, I need to add more of the lighter value to it. So there we go. We've got that green, okay? And that was mixed from cobalt blue and cadmium yellow light. Now, let's just put some white into that and see what we get. We're going to get a very minty colour of that value, but it's always going to be a different colour green. And all these greens, different colour greens that you see in a landscape, and you want to know, how do I get that colour? How do I get that colour to look real in my painting? How do I get my painting to look like it's got real colours in it instead of cartoony colours? So now I'm just mixing this up, and we've created that colour green there. Now what we will do is we'll just put plus white. So how do you get that colour? Cadmium yellow, light, and cobalt blue. How do you get that colour? Well, the same, but I added white. You'll understand how you label everything. Everyone's different. Okay, so we don't run out of room on our cardboard here. Next one is FUM, French ultramarine I'm using. So we've got French ultramarine, and we're going to mix that with cadmium yellow light. Now this is going to make a different green because French ultramarine is a totally different blue than cobalt blue. So we're going to mix this up and see what green we get here. So obviously we're mucking around with some green colours here. Let's go a little bit more. And this will reference you how to get these values. You keep adding the yellows and the blues till you get that value you want. Now we'll put this underneath there. And that's, look at that green. That is very different to that green there, slightly. Now we're going to add some white to that green and see what that gets. It's going to be we're pretty much going for a minted colour here. And if you want to experiment, see, that's a very different colour to that one there. Look at the difference there. So many greens are in a landscape, and you'll know how to get all these colours because you've created your own reference chart. Now let's just say we tone some of that. How do you tone it, Ian? Simple. Grab some grey. Let's just see. It might not work. It might work. It might not. Let's see if we can tone, if a tone colour is worth. Now, I personally don't feel that I would use a toned value of green. Okay, it's slight, but you never know. So I'll put that there. There we go. Now you want to mark them. So we've got, we added white to this one, and then we added grey to that. Okay, so I know that's how I got all those colours, and I can come back in a week's time and go, mix me that colour, will you? So I'll know exactly what to do to mix that colour. I'm just going to get a bit more there because there's not quite enough on there. Just simply going to try the cobalt blue and the cadmium yellow light and see what green that one gets. It's a bit more vivid than what's out there. That's a nice green. You do get that in landscapes. So we'll put the cobalt blue down. Now you can probably have two charts, one for your warm colours and one for your cool colours. Okay, now in mixing that, we got this colour green here. Different value to what's over here already. Look at that, just by the different blues. Now your blue, you might use the same blue all the time. It's going to give you your flavour of green. Now we can add a bit of let's say white to that. And you can also add more yellow to it if you want to make it a yellowy green. So there we go. We've added white to that. Now how different is that? It's still very different to every other green out there. And if you want to shadow one of your greens, let's pick up the first colour, add a bit of black to it. Well, I think I added too much black to it. Yes, I did, but there we go. Getting a bit more of it done because I added too much black. But there's a very dark, that looks like a perylene green. Look at that. See the difference that made? Now when you're adding a darker colour to a lighter colour, very slowly and gradually. So now we'll work out this grey. Now look at this green. You've all seen this green in landscapes as well. It's very different to what's on the palette down here. Look at it. It's different to every green again. So I'm going to write on there cerulean blue. Cadmium yellow light got this colour here. And then this we added white. And then from that we added black to get that colour. Okay, so work it out so you know these two here always created that colour there. You can work out your mess on your cardboard. Let's try a different, so I've got yellow ochre and we'll try, I don't know, let's try the French ultramarine, this one here. French ultramarine. Let's see what that gets. So we'll get a bit of that. See what colour this makes. I really don't know what colour it's going to make. There we go, we'll get a bit more. Now it's too much of that colour, so I'll add a bit more of the blue because I can see it's lacking the blue. So it's obviously a blue and a yellow, but it's going to make some kind of different green. And to me, it's making that dead green realistic colour within your paintings there. Now we'll add some white to that and see what comes up. So we got that there. Now we'll just add some white to that and see what we're going to get. So grab a bit of white and gradually, oh look at that, that's making a nice bark colour kind of thing. It's a bit bright, so let's get a more of a real colour happening. I'm liking it, it's kind of a grey, but it's a woody grey, you know, like old posts and rotten cracked timber posts on a farm field or something. There you go there. I've always wondered how to make that colour. And add that there. Beautiful, look at those colours we've just made. I've just written them down, yellow ochre, French ultramarine, made that colour, and then we added white. Now let's add a bit of black to that. Now very little. And we'll shadow that colour just to see what that's going to get. Yeah, it's pretty much a grey now. Well, that's fine. If you've got a mix of grey, well, you normally a mix of black and a white, but this has got a bit more value of yellow in it. Okay. Well, that's probably not a colour I use much, but I'll be surprised that I might end up using it a lot because I've never used it before, and I've seen this colour in like old sticks and posts and stuff like that. So that is plus black from that colour, not from that colour. So I'm going from that colour. Okay, let's try some reds now. So we've still got our blues here. So let's try, I've got permanent alizarin. Now I've got a parole red. That's the red I've got. So I'm using the red I've got. You use the red you've got, whether it's a primary red, vermilion red, whatever red. And my yellow there is cad yellow medium. Now we'll grab some of this red over here and we'll grab some of this cadmium yellow light. Obviously it's going to make an orange, but we want to see what sort of orange we're going to get. Now I'm thinking that's too much red. We need more yellow to get the orange value we're looking for. And then I want to place this onto my reference chart. This might not be a lovely landscape painting, but this, what I'm teaching you today, is very valuable. So we've got some of this red over here. Let's put this down here for the next one. The yellow. And that made this colour here. Let's add some blue. So we can add some, let's say, cobalt blue. I'm just going to put that on my colour chart up there. and add a little bit of cobalt blue to that and just see what we're going to get. You might find this colour come in handy in a landscape. Let's grab a bit more cobalt blue. There's some sort of green going on there because of the yellow, and a bit of brown. Looking at the chart, I don't see this colour anywhere. It's close to that one, but very different. It's very close to that one. So I don't feel I'm going to need to make this added into there. But we'll put it there anyway because I've already gone and put the blue next to the reference. So now I need to mark these here, which was, I'm just going to call that parole red, cad yellow medium, and what was that one? Cobalt blue. These two made that one, added that to get that. Now you simply add your white colours to that orange and see what we get. I always like to add white to something just so you can see what value you're getting, because you just never know when you're going to use that shade. Now down here, we'll put this here. It could be a part of a skin tone colour. So that is plus white. I can understand this. You can write yours down so you can understand it. All right, we all have a burnt umber, so let's grab a bit of burnt umber, okay, over here. And we'll put some white. Okay, now let's see what our white, well, I pretty much know what it's going to be, but you just never know when you're going to need this value. And our burnt umber mixed together, what grade we get. We pretty much got that colour there. Now I want to add, let's say, some black to that, a very little bit of black, not too much. Pull it in till we get it's pretty much another grey again, because it's got the black and white in it. We've made another grey. So that can go there, there. I won't add the grey to it because it's just going to make it grey anyway. But that's all right. I will, just to show you actually, because let's just say you've made a ball that colour. You've painted an object, a sphere that colour, and you want it to look three-dimensional. You need the greys and the blacks to give it the tone and the shadow. Okay, so we'll get that pretty well mixed up with the grey, and I'll just show you that what I mean later as well. Okay, now we want to mark those. So we've got burnt umber, white, made that one. We added black here, and we added grey here. Okay, now if you had a round, let's say a round cue ball, and it was this colour, you add the black to get the shadow under it, and you add the grey to get the tones within it to make it sort of look round and three-dimensional, whether it's any colour. Now I want to see what permanent alizarin and yellow oxide make, so I'll get some of this, let's say over here, and some yellow oxide, and let's mix this up and see what kind of colour we get there. I'm feeling it needs more yellow oxide to make something more seeable. Now that's kind of a another value of a skin colour there. Look at that. That's an interesting colour. So we'll put that there. Beautiful colour, I like that one. That's going to come in handy doing some rusty tin sheds and things like that. Now we'll simply add a bit of white to that. just to see what value we're going to get, and we'll add some black to that. Now there you go, that's a beautiful skin colour there, a little bit more white. And I'm going to show you at the end of this video how this reference chart works. It's a reference chart because it's referencing you what colours to use in your painting. So we'll get that there. Another beautiful skin colour. Now we're going to add a little bit of black. Not too much black. Just to that colour. Not the one you mix with the white. Don't confuse yourself, and I'll show you on the chart so I don't confuse you either. Now, I don't want you to confuse yourself. Oh, that's nice. Very old rusty timber shed looking colour. Now, when you're mixing the whites, you've mixed the permalinda and the yellow ochre together, you got that. Now you added white to get that. Don't add black to that to get that. You've mixed these two to create that. You added the white or you add the black, and that's what you get. Okay, I want to try a violet, so I've got quinacridone red violets, which pretty much looks very similar. Oh no, it is a different colour. It's a very different colour. And I don't know, what do we want to mix that with? Let's say a yellow, so let's say cadmium yellow. Cadmium yellow medium. Let's see what these two colours bring together. And we'll give this a mix and see what we're going to get. A little bit more of the red violet. Now we're getting kind of a honeycomb colour, a bit more yellow. Keep adding the yellow or the darker colour till you're happy with that solid colour you're going to think you can use within a painting. Now that is those two mixed together. It's some kind of orange. It's very close to yellow ochre. So there you go, you pretty much made a yellow oxide. Now if we add a white to that, oh, it really makes it opaque and stand out a bit different and yummy. You'll be surprised how many of these values are in a landscape once you start using them. Now we've added white to there. And we'll simply add black to some of that. Oh, not that much. Some black. And we kind of got a bit of a green value happening. And that's the black side. So I'll mark that. I'll just put violet, cadmium yellow medium, got that. That's plus white, and that's plus black. Okay, another colour I have in my arsenal is burnt sienna. Okay, so I want to grab some of this, and let's say, all right, we'll do this in a white. So we'll mix a bit of white with this and see what values we're going to get. Different values of browns, which is, there's so many browns in the forest and on the ground, isn't there? And it's always good to know. I'll tell you what, there's another bit of a skin value as well. That's looking all right, isn't it? Okay, so we'll put that onto the colour chart. So that's down here. Because we added, I forgot to put it on the colour chart, we added white there. And we got that. Now we'll add a bit of black just to see what happens. Now, let's just try black with that first, okay? And see what we get. We're obviously going to get a darker value. And use something to make your colour chart as neat as you want the darn thing, okay? And that. Now I'll better put the black up there because I haven't got it there. So we need a bit of black so as I don't forget. So the black and the brown made that one, and the white made that one. Now that colour we added black to, let's add some white to that and see what that one gets. Now I'm going to look at my chart and just see if I can see this colour anywhere within my chart. Can we see that anywhere? Oh, it's sort of close to the burnt umber and the white, isn't it? So there we added white. So I know, all right, this green here, how did I mix that? I love that green, I need that colour green. Oh, French ultramarine and Cadulo light, got that. But I need it to this colour, how did I get it to that? Oh, I added a bit of grey to it, okay. All right, we need this colour here, look at this weird colour here. How did I mix that? Oh, yellow ochre, French ultramarine blue, and we've got that colour. So you're gonna get this colour here, and then you gotta add black to get it to that colour, or add white to get it to that value. You'll understand how your chart's going to work for you. Let's do an oceany colour. Let's grab some turquoise and we'll grab some white. So let's grab the white over here and let's see what this turquoise does. Okay, that's making a nice colour there. We got that colour from adding the turquoise and the white. We'll add a bit of white to my chart. Okay, let's see what the turquoise, just those two colours make. So we're getting some of the, oh, not too much. It's going to make a bit of a green, like the green in the ocean maybe. Let's add a bit more yellow because it looks too turquoisey. Yeah, you know, the green in the eye of a wave. So that can go there. Now let's add some white to that to see what value that can become, because we know that's only going to come lighter and lighter and lighter. Let's see what this one becomes. So we'll grab some white and we'll start mixing over here. A bit more white. There we go, we've added our white to that. So we've added white. Now where are we? Is it? Oh, it's close to that. It's because of those two colours are going to make a turquoise as well. So there we go. Now here I've got my cerulean blue and grey. I've mixed that up because I use that a lot, but it's good for you people to know how to get this colour. And this makes the overcast in the water or the skies. It's a very overcast grey blue colour. I love it. Now let's try that with, say, some dioxine purple, something real vivid and loud. So we've made that, and we'll just put a little bit of dioxine purple and see what happens. Okay, and we've got pretty much like a violet. So I've mixed that into the grey value. Now that's adding to their dioxine purple, and you can obviously go darker by adding more of the darker colour. Alright, I want to try dioxine purple and let's say some of the cadmium yellow, medium. Okay, let's see what this is going to start bringing out, if we're ever going to use this colour within our landscapes or our paintings. There we go, that's a bit better. So what do we got there? That's pretty good for rocks, bits of colours in trees, foliage within trees. So I've put my cadmium yellow light and the dioxine purple on my reference chart there, and that colour I just mixed up, I'm just going to put under there. Okay, it's sort of a green as well when you put it on this white chart. Make sure you use a white board, not a coloured board. Now, okay, let's add some white to that and see what we get. Simply come over here, pick up the white, and then we'll start adding that to some white. So you got your lighter colour and you gradually add the darker colour. Now there's another value again you might find in picket fences or old jetties or something with tone. And do we have this colour anywhere? Not really, not really. So you'll be surprised what's making what. Okay, so we've got dioxine purple, cad yellow, medium, made that. and we added white to get that. Now I want to show you how you can use these colours. Now you would put it against your painting that you're gonna, your reference picture, and let's say you want this colour of the roof here. Like, how am I going to get that? How am I going to get that? Look at your chart, and I can see that one there, and we've got a bit of a grey one coming on over here. Okay, so to get that, I'm going to use my burnt umber and the white and the dioxine purple and cadmium yellow with white to get these colours in the roof. See, I'm hoping the camera picks up these colours compared to what's in the picture. Let's say this picket fence here. See these picket fences here? Well, they're pretty much the same colour as the roof over there. Let's go for some of the greens here. Look at the greens there. We've got all these greens up the top there to judge what is going to work for our painting. Back to the picture of Cottesloe Beach. Let's go for the roof up there. It's some kind of green happening, okay? So let's go to my chart, and I can already see the green is this one here, looking at the reference picture. Now, I'm assuming the colours are going to look different in my camera there. Let's say the sand colours here. Let's say, see this wet sand and the dry sand there? Here we go here. And what I haven't done, I suppose you can add a bit more white to get those whiter values of the sand in there. You got greens there, you got so many dark greens in there. So you lay this up against what you're going to paint, and you sort of look whites, greens, turquoise. There's that turquoisey colour there, the white added to it. Now that's pretty much finished. Now I had made some of these a while back, like when I was painting Steve the cat, I was getting all the values for his fur, and I've shown these in videos of how I've brought them to the camera, but I've never shown you how to make them. So these are my go-to reference charts, but you now have your own, and you can take this and lay it alongside any reference picture you're going to use. You can see the sand colours, the water colour, the roof colours, the trees. They're all in here, and you can lay it against there, squint your eyes. See now this sand colour here, see this wet sand colour? By my reference, it is permanent alizarin, yellow ochre and white mixed together, which is that one right there. I'm looking at that in real life. That's that wet colour. This dry colour sand here is pretty much the two mixed together, the yellow ochre and the white. Bit of permanent alizarin brings it that wet look. Same with the greens. You can see what greens are in your painting. You take this wherever you go. Let's say you're doing plein air painting. You lay this in front of you to get a reference of what colours you're going to mix. Because mixing colours is part of your art journey. You can't just buy colours and expect every colour to be in a tube. Learn to mix colours, learn to understand the colour wheel. The colour wheel is very simple within its own right. You've got your three primaries, red, blue and yellow, and they make secondary colours. Primaries 1, secondaries are 2, which come from those colours. Red and blue make purple. Blue and yellow make green. Yellow and red make orange. So the primaries mixed make a secondary colour. Then the secondary colours mixed with a primary become a tertiary, the third layer of colours. Understand the colour wheel. It is not that difficult. I thought it'll be a nightmare, but I've understood it. I've gone online, looked at colours, and they're mathematical the way they work. Okay, and this is something you need to do in your art journey, all right? I hope you got something out of this video, and if you did, give me the thumbs up, leave a comment below, and tell your friends if you like what I'm doing. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Goodbye, good luck, and good on you.